Okay, did everything work today? Seems like last week something was always broken at the beginning of the stream. So what we're going to do before we play the game is look at some Mario movie stuff. There we go. So if you haven't been to the theater and haven't seen the film, you should watch it first. So this scene is like much later in the film. Now, is Chris Pratt as a voice actor any good? It's passable. I kinda wish they had picked someone who sounded more Italian-American, but at this point you kinda forget about it anyway. Jack Black as Bowser absolutely kills it. By the way, this scene does indeed happen before Mario even meets Bowser. In fact, the trailer is misleading quite a bit on what Bowser actually does. They kept the best parts from being spoiled. The voice actor for Luigi, pretty good. This bathroom scene is like way at the beginning. It's also a cameo for Illumination's other properties. This scene is also misleading. This scene is like before Mario even gets to the castle. And this scene is like well past the Mario Kart bed. This is part of a training montage. That's why it goes from day to night. So this bit with them flying in the air is actually how they get split up. See, me thing about the complaints is that they are pretty much split 4 ways. You have people who don't like Chris Pratt for reasons basically tearing his performance to shreds. His performance is flat bland, worse than the Lego movie. Personally, I liked the Lego movie. Then you have the other silly people who don't like Peach's character. To that, I say, what game have you been playing? Apparently some silly adults just walk out of the theater at the training montage part because Peach is good at it and Mario sucks at it. She does this without any power-ups too. Whereas Mario does. Like, honestly, if that is why you don't like Peach in this film, maybe you need to check what games you were playing. Because Peach was always like this. So these are a few pages from the Nintendo Power comic. So just like the film. It starts with the Mario Bros basically tooting their business. Then Bowser shows up and says, "Marry me, Peach, or your people are gonna suffer." Like, this is trademark Bowser. And he's been doing this since they were babies. Like, literally. Peach has always been like, "I'm not doing that, Bowser." And she goes to him. And just like the film, she also escapes by herself. And in the comic, Mario is the one that gets captured. Peach and Luigi get him. Like, saying that isn't Peach is pretty much ignoring how Peach has been shown by Nintendo itself, let alone third parties. I think the criticism of not picking Hispanic voice actors for Mario and Luigi is valid. But let's be real. At no point did Nintendo say that Mario and Luigi actually were born in Brooklyn, only that they lived there. And while I agree they should have picked voice actors that match that expectation, I feel you would have had to tell a different story. Because Nintendo has already shown in 2 separate official games that Mario and Luigi were born in the Mushroom Kingdom, and are the same age as Bowser, Wario, and Donkey Kong. So you would have had to tell a completely different origin story. By the way, there is a reference to Peach's origin in the movie. So that's something we might get more in a sequel, I hope. So Donkey Kong. Seth Rogen is a perfect fit for Donkey Kong. And I didn't even think twice about the boy. But again, going back to the idea of voice actors that would have been suitable. There already was an entire 2-season 3D animated show for Donkey Kong. Just like there were ones for Mario and Crew. So where's the whine and complain about Donkey Kong? My only issue with how this was how it fit. Because Mario Kart and Smash Bros. Are non-diegetic Mario games. Just like Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. Yes, the games exist, but you can't tell me that Mario and Sonic exist in the same world. And that's how I always viewed Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, the game, is something that exists in a separate canon from the Mario and the Mushroom Kingdom. Like I have not played Mario Odyssey. But I know Mario's girlfriend Pauline from the Donkey Kong game is the mayor of New Donk City. So how do you even resolve that? You don't. There are also several other games in the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series.
Amazing Mini Mario toy! Hurry, buy! Bananas. Mini Mario toy! It walks, it talks, it says... Each one comes in its own crystal ball. Collect one, collect them all. Be the first one on your block to own the amazing new Mini Mario toy. Hurry before they're all sold out. Hurry, buy one, buy them all. Buy them all. Buy them all. Buy them all.
So first question. Where is this? Mario Toy Company. So if the toads are here, it must be inside the Mushroom Kingdom, right?
Hey, cool. Hey, come back here. No, you don't. No, you don't. What are you doing? What's going on here? Oh, mamma mia, tutto arrabbiato.
So this game, if you've never played it, is basically just a Lemmings-like game. Oh, sorry, the second game is a Lemmings-like game. The first game is just Find the Key. It's very, very loosely based on the mechanic of the Donkey Kong bonus round. So that's my question here. How does Donkey Kong exist in the Mushroom Kingdom? Because if you are going to tell a story using diverse voice actors, you are going to have to stretch things quite a bit. Just Mario and Luigi would not be enough. And as I pointed out here, if this was meant to be an origin story, you would have had to have only used details that were present in the first game. And that would probably not be any better than what the original live-action film was. Because that live-action film only had like 6 games to pull from, and they only pulled very small aspects from those games. Like Princess Daisy from the Game Boy game, the Dinosaur World from Super Mario World, the Desert from Super Mario 3, and so forth. It was really just some mild set dressing, and the only thing that really made it a Mario movie was that Mario and Luigi were in it. And stop. The new Mario movie, on the other hand, has 40 years of games to look at, and they could pick and choose what games they wanted to try and shoehorn into it. So what about Bowser? So Jack Black's Bowser absolutely nails what I expected. Like if the rest of the film you didn't like, Jack Black absolutely pulls it off, and is worth seeing for him alone. So the people who are hating on the film seem to just zero in on these small details. Gee, both parents and kids say 5 stars. What a refreshing movie to see with my kids. Finally, a funny, clean movie the entire family can enjoy. No language, no sexual innuendos, no overly sexualized female characters, no agenda, just good, clean fun. I would hold off taking littles because Bowser and the fight scenes could frightening, but otherwise go have fun at the movies. Like you have to understand who the target audience is. This was incredible. The animation is top-notch. There are no cursing and very little romance. There is a handful of slapstick action and a lot of perilous moments, including somewhere we believe that characters are going to be killed. But this movie was amazing, and I recommend it to everyone. That from a 16-year-old. I watched it when it came out and it was incredible. It is a great family pick and good for adults who played the original game. Mild flirting and violence but great fun for all. That from a 10-year-old. So you know there is something wrong with critics when critics don't like it, but the audience loves it. What it seems to have forgotten is creating an engaging story. It's bland, uninteresting, and cobbled together. It's emotionally bland and yet garish enough to psychologically sedate the preteen Easter audience. Kids may have the time of their lives watching the Super Mario Bros. Movie, but for most adults, this is game over. Not to give damning praise, but the Super Mario Bros. Movie sets its narrative sights refreshingly low. It trusts the cultural catch of Mario and decides to jump straight into the fun of what people love about the games. So the thing is, I feel that the people who didn't like the film were looking for something to hate on. Like I absolutely loved it. It was the film I wanted. So if they make a sequel, and it's more like this, yes please.